And welcome back to the Profile Pod. I'm your host, a Double A, back for another spectacular episode of the pod. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, live right here on the Profile Pod on YouTube. We got a very special guest in store for everyone, man. Tonight, this gentleman is out of Northern California. But before we get to our guest, man, I want to say real quick, thank you everyone for showing love on Instagram, on social media. Appreciate everybody just commenting, liking, sharing. It's all good, man. I really appreciate the love, man. And had a very cool weekend on Friday, man. I was a part of the private screening for the movie I was in that I got to perform in actually as an actor. Some of you may know that I act also. And it was the Stationary Bike, which is a short story based on a Stephen King short story, I should say, and they adapted it into a short film, which is the one I got to perform in, directed by A.M. Walters, and everybody was there, man. The producers, the writers, the everyone, man. Director of photography, editors, and we had an audience in the house. I also got to be the moderator for the Q&A session afterwards. But anyways, man, I just want to just mention that, man, because that was a hell of an experience, and we're just getting started in the acting game, man. So it was a very, very special shout out to my man Ralph Esparza, Walt Perez, A.M. Walters, Ahmet Akinci, everybody, all the actors, cast and crew. So just wanted to mention that, man, because it's a proud moment for myself in this game. So let's get enough of that. Enough about me, man. We got a guest here. He's standing by. Like I said, he's from Northern California. He's doing big things in the hip hop game. He's a recording artist, and he's ready to take the world by storm, man. He's got a video that just dropped on YouTube. It's got over 100,000 views. It's the song's called "Close to Me," featuring Carolyn Rodriguez and Athena. And if you haven't seen it, man, you'll want to see that video, man. It's hot, man. So, like I said, man, this gentleman is doing big things. Let's go ahead and bring him on straight out of Vallejo, California, now in Sacktown. And like I said, man, I was really excited about talking to this guy. We just connected, I think, a couple weeks ago, and here we are. So things move fast in this world, man, and it's always nice to connect with those individuals who are like-minded, man, who want to get shit done, and are professional, and they're on the up and up, and positive, and just they check all the boxes, man. So my man Lui checks all the boxes. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's welcome my man Lui Blanco. Lui, what's up, bro? How are you?
What's up, Double A? Thanks for having me.
Oh man, thank you, man. No, thank you. The pleasure's all mine, Lui. I get to do this a lot, man. I bring on individuals, talented individuals who are doing extraordinary things in life to inspire the human spirit, man. And you're doing that, man. And I want to thank you for everything that you do, for inspiring me and just being a positive role model for the not only the Chicano Latino community, man, but for everyone, man.
Thank you. Likewise, Double A. I like all the work you're putting in, and you being a voice for us Chicanos and Latino Americans in general. We really appreciate the hard work and all the behind the scenes stuff that you do for the culture.
Oh, of course, man. Thank you, man. And that's what it's all about, Lui. I think it's
absolutely
right, building that community and not just for just humanity,
right? Yeah,
humanity, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. I love my culture. I love who I am and where I come from and all that, and it's a beautiful thing, man. But I love all colors and shapes and sizes, man. And so, but man, how are you, brother? I was watching your video earlier, man. The Close to Me, hot video, man. It's 100,000 views. How do you feel? How does that make you feel, man?
I'm very proud. I'm very proud. We put a lot of hard work into it, from the production end of it to the writing to the visuals, to the everybody that was on that project was put a lot of hard work in, and it wasn't easy because you saw it was at airport and such. So we were a little short on time, but the director Tony Chavarria, the Houston shooter, threw a Hail Mary and we made it happen.
yeah, no, I saw it, man. It's you guys shot that in Houston?
We did. We actually shot it at the historical airport, which is right next to the Hobby Airport, with access granted. We got some strings pulled thanks to One Love Athena, was a good friend of mine out of Texas, and yeah, we got only an hour, very limited. We had to wait till the manager left, and it was, we were on short, a short time, but we made it happen. Again, like I said, the Houston shooter went in there, and we didn't waste any time. And Carolyn Rodriguez was very professional, got it done fast. Yeah. So yeah, it was at the Hobby Airport. Yeah, the historical airport.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to Houston, man. I've only been to the airport in Houston, so
Sure.
I heard
It's a discontinued. It's more of a museum. It's more of a museum for aeronautics, and another one of the scenes where Carolyn is actually inside, in front of the mirror. What makes that scene so special is that was the room they used to hide Elizabeth Taylor in when they'd bring her to Houston to hide her from the paparazzi. So that was an honor to be in the same room and have that footage in the video.
Oh wow, I gotta catch. Yeah, man, I was watching the video. What part of that? What part of the room you said?
There's a scene where she's talking in front of the mirror.
Okay.
A couple scenes where she's in front of a mirror. And if you pause the video on the bottom left corner, you'll see a picture of Elizabeth Taylor in a picture frame. So that's kind of cool.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah,
love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so it's some history behind it as well,
Yeah. No doubt, man. No doubt. So you've been well, let's talk about Close to Me, man. That song, and produced by Bruce Bang, and he's done a lot of stuff, man. You were telling me earlier, and big names he's worked with, and he produced the song. And so how did you connect with Bruce, first of all, man?
Again, I actually met Carolyn Rodriguez here in Sacramento at one of her pop-ups, which I was very blessed to not have to wait too long in line. I got to meet her pretty quick, and we gelled between her and her manager. I expressed my interest in doing a song together. I left my contact info. I heard back from him in a couple days, and sent him, a version of Close to Me, which was my part and the bridge, and the rest. Athena booked a studio session for me to come to Houston and work with Bruce Bang. So Bruce made the beat. He basically remade the beat that I had dropped the verse to, because that beat I did not own. And in this, you got to own your own material. So we had Bruce recreate the beat, make it even better than it was, and then Carolyn mirrored my verse in her version, and after that was laid, De Luna, which is Daniel or David De Luna, the guitarist on the which is actually a platinum guitarist, he laid the final riffs over her vocals and my vocals, and that's the way it came about. Yeah.
I see. So you basically connected through all these Houston people through Carolyn?
Well, through Athena and Carolyn, correct. The thing is, I met Athena. We created the Close to Me song. It was good energy. They liked my energy. I liked theirs. Behind the scenes, I was sending her some songs of some previous work that I had done, and she thought it would be a good idea for me to maybe come to Houston, meet Bruce, and maybe work on a project, because at the time I wasn't working on an album or anything. It was just a single that I wanted to drop with Carolyn, and it was just such a great energy from that song that I had no choice but to move forward and want to drop a whole album. That's how inspirational, and that's how much of a good energy we had from that one song. It just it catapulted into doing a whole album. So I stayed in Houston for about 2 weeks, and I got to do 4 songs with Bruce, 3 of them which were released on my album, and one of them which is yet to be released. And yeah, connected with Bruce, connected with Athena, connected with Carolyn. I met the Houston shooter, which is my buddy, my main photographer and videographer, Tony Chavarria, which is the one that did Close to Me. Yeah, we really just kind of connected and kind of formed a team and started the Lui Blanco project,
Love that, man. Love that. And so you dropped, was that the single that you dropped before the album?
I did drop the single before the album, yes, because we were sitting on it for a while, and I knew that the album was almost finished, and it had been a while since I had really dropped music, and the digital music game is, you don't have to drop albums anymore. You can drop single off the top of single and such, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to drop a couple singles, maybe get a little notoriety from them too, and then drop a full length project that so my fans can have a catalog of mine.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
So they can refer to a body of work, not just a single or two songs. So yeah, we did drop Close to Me in March, I believe, and the album dropped in July. Yeah, so that was the first thing. Actually, no, I take that back. The first single that we dropped the video for was Música pa' Jóvenes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's the one. It's a single that I produced by myself. Yeah.
Oh man,
are you there?
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, hold on, man. Give me 1 second, man.
Sure, no, take your time. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. People from my IG, Facebook, family and friends, thank you guys for the support.
Yeah, give me. You there, Louis?
Do your thing.
Give me 1 second, man.
All good.
Gonna have to switch cameras here.
No worries. It's funny. I thought I was gonna be going through the technical difficulties, AA.
Yeah.
I'm happy it's you can recover a lot faster than I can. I'm very not too. If I have to go reach for my laptop, I'm in trouble.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
I wonder what happened there with the cam. Anyways, man, but yeah, so Música pa' Jóvenes was actually the first single.
Correct. That was my first single, yeah, and I dropped that one. I believe it was July of 2021. Yeah, the single.
And that song's on the album, right?
Yeah, that is on the album. It's song number 5 on the album. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The album is 18 songs.
Okay.
The one thing I kind of don't like about YouTube is that when you put an album together, they kind of sync in the videos with the album. So like instead of like clicking on the album and just going to 18 songs, it'll be like the songs plus the videos integrated. Like, so it'll be like 3 pictures of the album, and then it'll be like 2 videos, and it'll be, so it's never just one full album. That's the negative of it for me.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it's I'm just saying in terms of the search engine, makes it a little hard because they mix the videos in. So sometimes when you just go to play the album, it'll jump to a video and what have you. But we deal, right?
Right. It's a self-titled album.
It is. It's called Lui Blanco. It's a self-titled album, and I have Spanish songs, I have English songs, and I have Spanglish songs as well.
Yeah, I noticed you rap a lot in Spanish, man. And I think that's man, you're seeing that so much now with a lot of Latino artists from coast to coast, And do you have a preference, Louis, when it comes to emceeing English to Spanish? Do you love it both the same, or talk about that?
English, I think that for some reason I feel like things are like words are a little bit, for at least on my take on it, is that I feel like words are a little bit more passionate in Spanish. Like they have, what I'm saying, right? They have a little bit more of a stronger feel, and so and being in tune with my culture and has it's kind of broadened my horizons, because I used to not be a Spanish rapper. I mean, it was like I would put a little chiquita mamacita here and there in the verse, but it was never like a full length, the whole verse would be in Spanish. So I actually went through a lot of verses before I decided that that's the avenue I wanted to take. But once I came out with Música pa' Jóvenes, it just, I got good feedback in it, and it gave me an energy like I could do this. It's just it's storytelling, and it is harder for me to rap in Spanish, though. I will say that. So, and what I mean by that is that you got to be. I like to make sure that I make my point in the proper fashion. And sometimes some words might not be correct, so I do a little bit more homework in Spanish before I put something out, because in English, I think I'm just a little bit more fluent in English than I am in Spanish.
I see, man. No, it sounds great, but is it harder to put together words like when rhyming and stuff like that in Spanish?
Not so much words. I think it's catching a rhythm, like tragos en la mano, playera hawaiana. It's just like catching the rhythm the same in a different language. When your primary language is English, and Spanish is like, because I'm a Chicano, so even though my parents speak fluent English or speak Spanish and I speak fluent Spanish, I'm just more comfortable. Like shooting from the hip, I'm more comfortable with English, because I can just shoot from the hip. In Spanish, I've got to be a little bit more thorough and think it through. So yeah, it's a little bit more challenging to do it in Spanish, but when it's hot, you feel it like, damn, this that shit.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. No, I love it, man. I love it. The bilingual MCs. I started seeing that, back in the early '90s, and guys like Mellow Mayonnaise and the Mexicans, Cypress Hill, starting a little bit of it.
Lighter shade of brown, Kid Frost, everybody. That's the only negative. I mean, and that's one thing I wanted to I think that I want to address that something that NorCal artists really don't talk about. Like, I just wish that we would have been more exposed to the Chicano and Latino hip hop culture, like other markets such as LA, Texas, New Mexico. And it's sad because all we got in the Bay Area, and people can attest to this. Now we made, you've got, of course, MB Riders and stuff, the mainstream stuff, but we only have like 1 hour of Pocos por el Locos on Sunday, and that was, and that was it. And so we really, and Sunday's a busy family day, so who's going to be by the radio a lot? I mean, some people are, but who's going to always be for that 1 hour? It's kind of, it kind of sucks, because I really wish they would have exposed our culture a little bit more and had a little bit more Kid Frost on the radio, a little bit more, whatever Latino artists. That's just, the Bay Area wasn't a great market for that. But
yeah,
we want to change that.
I feel you, man. Do you remember a show, Louis, back in, I want to say, man, this was like, it had to be like 92, 93, man. It was called Second Generation.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember the show. It was Chicanos, Latinos. I think it was based in Los Angeles, but in the Southern LA area. But they would come. I think it would come on for like 30 minutes. Local here was on a local station, and they would highlight Latino artists, the Latino culture, the Chicano scene. Sure. And anyways, I just thought I was wondering, up in the Bay Area.
Again, that's admitting I can't really pinpoint anything in the Bay that was like, because in the Bay Area, a lot of the independent rappers are African American. You got the E40s, the JP, the Bigger Figures, the Mac Dre's, and that now it's a little more diverse, But in my era, we missed out on a lot of the Latino hip hop culture. Again, I don't know what the politics were behind the scenes when it came to the music or to the radio station and such, but again, that's one thing I just wish we had a little bit more access to,
Oh yeah, bro. But it's great to see that there's so many more. I mean, Chicano, Latino art, hip hop artists are out there doing their thing, man. There's so many now.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
It's abundant now, and it's great to see that, man.
Sure.
People are doing their thing.
Yeah,
representing the culture.
We're a talented race, Mexicanos, Latinos. We're very talented, in the business world, in the music world. All we need is a chance, man. We just need one little sliver, one little crack, and I feel like a lot of us take advantage of the best of those opportunities, and I do. I'm very happy to see now that it's a lot more Latinos in the mainstream. Wish
Definitely.
to see more, but a lot better than it was before.
It was, exactly, man.
So we're advancing.
What's that?
I say we're advancing. You know,
Yeah, we're coming, bro. We're
yeah,
coming,
we're
man.
coming. You know, Fat Joe said, I saw something like that the other day. Fat Joe said, "Hey, the Mexicans are coming." You know,
Oh yeah, I saw
so
that
that was,
clip. I saw that.
yeah, you saw that, yeah.
Yeah, man.
That was exciting.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, it's true, man. You're starting to see more in just entertainment in general, television and film and music and all over, man, all over the place, bro. And like you said, bro, rightfully so, man. Rightfully so. We're super talented, man. We belong. That's where we belong.
Yeah, heck yeah. And I see you're in the acting world too. I'm keeping tabs on you a little bit here.
Yeah, man. That's what I love to do, man. I've always loved to do that, and yeah, that's my goal is to continue to climb the ladder in that arena, and honestly, Louis, I don't want to talk about myself too much, but I started podcasting to get back into acting.
Cool.
So but this is great. Don't get me wrong, man. Sure. But anyways, man. But I wanted to ask you, Louis, man, taking it back a little bit, bro, because you're doing your thing now as an artist. You're passionate about what you're doing. Take us back to that moment where you were. You decided that you were going to take this and go all in on becoming an artist, a hip hop recording artist. Was it a moment for you, or was it kind of a process? Tell us about that.
Well, I grew up loving hip hop. I remember my first cassette tape. My brother gave it to me. I was 5 years old. It was Too Short, Born to Mac. It's not something you want a 5-year-old to be listening to. but I remember I heard that, and then there was a bunch of cuss words and stuff. And then when I go to my cousin's house, I'd hear some of the Eazy-E stuff and NWA. They didn't play it too much around me, but yeah, that's I've always been a fan of West Coast rap because I didn't know too much about East Coast rap, and at the time when I was growing up, West Coast rap was it. So Dog Pound, the West Side Connections, the Snoops, the Dre's, the MCH, the LA African American hip hop artists. That was so I started actually as a freestyler. We would go to parties and just grab the mic and spit a bunch of gibberish and nonsense and hope that it rhymed and sounded good. But to take it back, I would say around the age of 16 is when I said 17 was when I stopped freestyling. And one of my friends, good friend of mine, shout out Juan Vallejos. We were in a group called the Latin Bosses, actually a hip hop group called the Latin Bosses. And he was already writing and putting verses together, and we were just freestyling off the dome. We were coming pretty hot, and he's like, "Hey man, if you just not rap for so long and break it down and do a verse here and a bridge there," and kind of taught me how to break down verses and stuff. That was around close to between 17 and 18. And that's where it just took off from there. A good 8 years.
What year was that?
Early 2000s.
Oh, okay.
It was around 2001. Something like that,
I'm older than you, bro.
Yeah. No, of course, no. It is what it is. I'm proud of where I'm at and my age and all. But yeah, no, it was about 01, 2000 and such. And then it just we tried. We had some really cool like local hits. Like on the underground scene, we had the Latin Bosses made a little bit of a splash because we made a song called Vengan a la Fiesta, which I'm going to send it to you. It's pretty slapping in Spanish too. It's an all Spanish rap song. And once that kind of took off, I was like, man, I really, really want to put all my chips, all my eggs in this basket. Yeah. But, I had my son, and then come to find out I'm going to have another child. So I had to clamp down on the dream and do what I had to do to pay the bills. Yeah. And I did that for, a good amount of time before I, again, got back into it years later, and here we are today. But to sum it up for you, I did it from 17 to 25. It wasn't too successful at it.
Okay.
But and there's reasons for it. Like I said, marketing was different back in the day. Recording, we didn't have the access to the studios and the equipment that there is today. And so I kind of put that on the back burner for some years, and But I never lost the passion for it. I'd always write. I would always freestyle in the car with the with the kids in the car, and never lost a drive for it. And when I was able to fund my own operation and step away from my duties and actually invest in my hobbies, which was around late 2019, early 2020, or excuse me, it was mid 2020. I've been all in. I've been all in ever since.
Oh wow! So
So go ahead.
you said 2020, so about 2 years now. You've been going
Two
pretty
years
hard.
solid on recording,
Yeah,
writing, producing, involvement in music. Connecting. Networking. Again, up until that point, it was kind of a mediocre a run that I had.
yeah,
Was it? But again, when you're ignorant to marketing and you're also not in an area that your kind is marketed, it's kind of hard. Like if I think had we been in maybe LA, maybe Texas or Colorado, we'd have a little bit more of a leg up, but it was kind of an uphill climb for us in the Bay. But again, that's no excuse. When you're dope, you're dope. If you make it out, it's because you got skills, right? I get that. But I think what it was too, like the lack of production, like we didn't have the modules or because back then there was no Fruity Loops or what have you. You had to go do it on a module, on and extract sounds, what have you. So it's a lot easier now, and
no
I'm
doubt.
blessed I'm blessed that I never lost my drive for it. And yeah, man, we've been all in for the last couple of years.
Wow, man. Yeah, that's impressive, man. I mean, do you feel now when you look back at the last couple of years? I mean, what's been the most in the on toot your own horn here, bro. Like, what's impresses you most about these last couple of years with your journey?
You know, to me, it's not so much about numbers or having this big success and blowing up. It's how you truly feel with the music, because sometimes we get caught up into, oh, I want to make something good to create a reaction, and that's not a good. I when I did that, it was never really the sound that who I was. It was when I said, you know what, if I can say this on the air, me vale madre, lo voy a hacer a mi modo. I'm gonna go in without worrying about sounding like this. I'm gonna go in without. It's just be Louis, and and that's who I am. I'm not in gang. That's not my war. So I can't really talk about that. I could talk about struggle. I could talk about pain. I could talk about success and mildly, not too much. But I could talk about
Okay.
success. I could talk
Love,
about love, family.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm,
culture.
sometimes double A things don't happen on our time. They happen on God's time. And had I had success early in my life, would I still be the same person? Would I still have
Yeah,
the same character? Would I care as much about, the value of the dollar or the hard work and such? Sometimes we got to go through those tough times to make us better as a person and to kind of have a better outlook, on what we want on life and on what we want to do.
yeah, no doubt, man. That's a great point, bro. I like that, man. You're it's all about the music for you first and foremost. It seems like
Number one.
yeah,
Number one,
yes,
man.
yeah, yes, numbers are important. Yes, we want to be successful. Yeah, I mean, in those terms. But yeah, what is it about music for you though, Louis, that brings you so much joy, man? What is it? What is it about music, man?
Um, I mean, there's all the factors of it, from the fact that words can become a melody, that the words can become a mood, that a beat can lift you up or also sadden you. It can hype you up. So the fact that there's so much power in the music, and like let me it's like this. When we think of our loved ones that have passed and we hear a song, what does it do to us, right? It brings us back to that moment.
Yeah,
It's ingrained into us, like that moment that we had to that song. So I think it's just like the fact that it's words and sounds create a mood and create a feeling, and that's basically like, that I mean, but There's a lot of things. I mean, I like a lot of things of it. I like the beats slapping. I like the fact that my trunk rattles. I like the, I like the shit that'll make you bop your head. There's some stuff that you can put on a basketball hoop when you're gonna go hoop with your buddies and you get you hyped up to go play, or So basically, I guess it would say what makes what drives and what I like most about music is the feeling that it can give you, but it's expressive for the creator, and it's also touches the feelings for the listener. So it's a win-win for both.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it touches on your emotions, man. Your
there you go.
memories. I grew up in a musical family myself, Louis. I played trombone for 2 years in the 5th and 6th grade, and I regret quitting it, man. I regret not freaking continuing to play. But I was more athletic type back in the day, and but I think I think you hit it on the head, man. With it really can take you back to a certain moment.
Sure.
It's a win-win, like you said, for the creator.
Everything about it, like I guess you could say I like everything about it. I like the process. I like the process. I like the before the process, when the thinking of it. I like the writing of it. I like the adding the sounds to the vocals of it. I mean, the reaction of it. So I guess you could say I just love all of it. But again, it's just it's a powerful tool. It's a powerful tool of expression, and it really, like I said, it allows the creator to let stuff off their chest, and it also allows the listener to connect with someone else that might be going through the same thing they're going through, whether it be on a positive level, a sad level, whatever it is. You're creating connection too. So that's cool. I love all of it. I love everything.
It's beautiful, bro. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah. And that's why, when you ask me about Houston and such, that's why I get so excited when I go to Texas, because again, I don't know if it's just in my, surrounding circle or the people that I interact with, but I was never blessed to be around so many musical people. And when I went to Houston, it's like, you meet people that are in choirs, you meet guitar players, it's conga players. I mean, I've met down the line, like guitarist, bassist. I mean, congas, you name it. I've met them in Texas, and that's what I do love about the Texas culture, is that they're very musical. They're very musical, and that's why it attracted me to keep coming out there and working with the people that I do, because they're very. I mean, that's. And I truly wished I would have had a little bit more exposure to that in terms of like as living in the area that I live in. But hey, at least better late than never, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro.
So that's how I feel.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. No, I love. I mean, I got to get down to Texas. I've been to El Paso. I've been to mainly in El Paso and Dallas, man. But
okay.
I haven't been able to experience Texas like I want to, man. Like really get the feel for, like you said, that scene, the musical scene. And I know Austin is a huge live music scene. Sure. And but yeah, man. So
yeah, I've been lucky enough to perform out there. I actually, we were, I opened up for DJ Kane of the Cumbia Kings. He's actually on my album, so check that song out. It's called Baila Conmigo.
Okay.
And it was a smaller show, but it was very intimate, because it wasn't just like a regular stage. It was like a old brick building with it had a historical look to it, and it was a smaller crowd, so he was able to interact with the crowd and such. But that's what I'm saying. Like, even in Texas, like even the most simplest food festival, you'll have some big headliner at a food because there's just so much music, and they're just so musically inspired. It's like, whether you're in Austin, whether you're in Dallas, whether you're in Houston, you're gonna have access to some cool shows, and that was. So I suggest you go down there, man, as soon as you can. It's pretty.
No, I gotta get down.
Good music culture. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. No doubt, man. What's been the biggest challenge for you thus far, though, Louis? Since 2020, or since we jumped back into everything, and What's been your biggest challenge, and how do you overcome your
Well,
challenges, man?
I think the biggest challenge is for me, and I like to keep it 100. I think it's marketing, because even though I know how to market other things, like you can't force people to like your music, you know. And unless you're in the higher power, excuse me, let me switch this. Unless you're in the higher powers, you're not really gonna have your music on the radio or presented to the masses and such. So that's just my biggest hurdle is the marketing part of it. But again, we've got some strategies that we're going to try to implement here pretty soon to kind of see where it goes. But marketing, but writing and creating has never really been is not too hard for me. I'm one of those people, like, if I'm not doing too good in the writing, then I start working on the beats. If my beats start to suck, then I'll focus on some verses. If my verses aren't working and the hooks and the beats aren't working, then I'll make some hooks. If that's not going well, I'll write some bridges. Whatever it is, we're trying to find whatever we're hot in at the moment. So it's just like, I like to be. One thing as a creative, when I'm not creating something, I don't feel good. I'm not like fulfilled.
Right.
If I'm not working on a song, if I'm not working on a beat, if it's been a couple of weeks since I dropped a track, it bugs me, and that's how I know that I've got the love and the drive for it, because I'm not content when I'm not, producing work, when I'm not working or being productive in that field. So
for sure, I know that feeling, man. I know that feeling.
And it stinks, because you're in you get these mental blocks that are inevitable, and you still got to overcome them. But it's like I heard an artist. She said, sometimes you slay the dragon, and sometimes the dragon slays you. But at the very end, I mean, at the very least, at least you stood up to the dragon. So that's the important thing. So yeah, no, that's pretty much my take on it. On this new album, I want to have a little bit more, have it be a little bit more melodic. I do feel like I did make a lot of songs a lot kind of short on this album, but I did that by design, because I'm one of those guys that, I mean, I'm sorry, again, everyone has their take, but I don't like to listen to super long rapping. That's just my take. So therefore, I don't give that back. I like to short and sweet. I think I got that from one of my old jobs when I used to work for a cable company. I'd always take so long to get to my point, and the guy would say, "Laser focus, Luis, laser focus." So that's kind of like, and truth be told, it kind of was it kind of stuck with me, even with verses like, "Don't rap for hell long. Drop your your point, make your point, on to the next." So that's one thing I do want to do on this album, is kind of go a little bit longer. Rap, because I have a lot of 12-bar verses on there and 8-bar hooks and such. So, we're going to try to go. I think this new album that I'm working on, I want to have more intros with the instruments, more bridges with, with the instruments as well. So just, trial and error. Definitely. I've got some great people behind me though, man. And
I see that, man.
And they've been instrumental to my growth. You mentioned Bruce Bang, but even before that, like I said, I'm very indebted to Athena. I'm very indebted to my buddy, the Houston shooter. But I really want to bring up Symes Carter. Symes Carter is actually multi-platinum producer. Actually, he's produced a lot of hits. A lot of hits a hit that I know for sure you may know is "Oh No" by Creepa. That one's one that's his biggest, I think, to date. But he's got some really good work with MC Magic. He's got beats with Little Rob. I mean, just the list go. I mean, the guy's list is long, too short. I mean, he's worked with a lot of the greats. And what I think what impressed me the most about that gentleman is that about Symes is that, given that his track record and has as great as his productions have been, he's still approachable. He's still willing to help the culture. He's all about Chicanos and the growth of the culture. So that impressed me the most, like the fact that it's not all about the money. Just for some people, they really still have the passion for the game. and it's not just about numbers and money
Mm,
and becoming stars or none of that. They truly have a passion for creating,
mm.
helping, and guiding people that are actually have interest in this music business.
Yeah, no,
So
and that's
yeah,
I think that's the those are the people you want to associate yourself with, right? And it's I mean I'm speaking for myself too, man. And yeah, obviously you got to make a living and doing what you love, but
sure.
first and foremost, yeah, it's the passion for the music, passion for the art, and creating. And you said something that was interesting, Louis. I've had this conversation with a few artists, and I want to get your take on it. Right? You said you can't force anyone to like your music or to follow you, or you know what I mean. You kind of have to you got to put it out there and see who how it goes and how it's how it's
Yeah.
consumed. I know, but I know for myself, man. I'll put together a nice piece of content, like it's a reel, or I'll have a nice, a great episode, on a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm loving it, right? And then you put it out there, and it doesn't really, you know, it doesn't get the attention that you're hoping it
Mm-hmm.
would, right?
Sure.
In terms of viewership, right, and being consumed. Um, what's your take on that, bro? Like, do you experience that
I,
though too?
I do. I do, but I'll tell you one thing. Um, because and I've seen some of your reels and stuff. Number one, the game is saturated. So a lot of the time, I mean, whether we like to admit that or not, it is. So therefore, we are in an uphill climb, but yet and still, it's just there's so much information being thrown at people that it's kind of hard to take off like that. But you know, persistence is key too, though.
Yeah.
When you're persistent, like me, I look at my album and I've got the Kumbia King, DJ Kane of the Kumbia Kings. I've got NB Writers on there. I've got Carolyn Rodriguez, Sophia Maria, who's worked with, the NB Writers. But, and I'd be lying to you if I told you that I didn't want to have some of their fan base kind of piggybacked into mine because, of course, you want to attract new people. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's like when I look at my album, I don't let the plays or the views dictate it, or excuse me, dictate what I feel about the album, because the people that I've talked to, and when you get off the stage and they like, hey man, that's a badass song, or hey man, can I follow you on IG, or hey, can I get a picture? Can you sign an autograph? That because that to me is a win,
Mm,
and because when I make my songs, I don't write them to say I want an X dollar amount. You do obviously want success from your work, but
yeah.
when I do music, it means just as much to collect a dollar. Let me rephrase that. It means more to me to have someone relate to the feelings that you're expressing and to tell you, hey man, you know what? That song's badass, man. I was going through it with my girlfriend and such, and I heard Nobody Knows, and it kind of got me back up. So things like that, I think you can't put a price on. It's like that
Yeah.
Visa commercial. Having a fan come up to you and tell you your music's great, priceless. So that be honest, like I don't want to say I'm massively successful or anything like that, but I do pretty good for myself outside of music, thank God. And I think that's why I'm not so impatient for
Mm,
growth, because I want to grow organically, and I want people to know why they like me. Not just like me because it's being thrown in your face, not just like me because it's on the radio all the time and it's got so catchy that now you like me. I want you to seek my music and say, you know what, hey, this guy's got some good stuff. Let's go check him out. And I'm not in no rush to blow up or to be in front of and anything like that. I feel happy with the life I have, even if this music goes nowhere. It's gone far enough for me to give me satisfaction and know, hey, I've stepped off of big stages with big artists that have been there before, that have got reputable names, and I've held my own. And you know, um, I remember when I went with Carolyn, I toured with her for a week. We went over to we did at where the Cardinal Stadium is. It was a big car show. It was called the Arizona Super Show.
oh yeah.
And yeah, and we had just dropped Close to Me. I think Close to Me was just only out for like a week, or excuse me, a month. And this gentleman walks up to me. He's like, "Oh my God, dude, I can't believe you're here. Like, I've been bumping your song all day. I mean, all month." And the wife, she vouched for him, was like, man, this guy, you know, my husband drives to work every day listening to the song. And I tell you, I came back maybe because I'm not a star yet and I'm not used to that feeling, but that alone is a rush for me. You know, that alone captivates me and makes me want to keep going. And again, I don't do this for the money. I do it legit for the love. And if my book were to be closed today, I'd be happy with the little the body of work that I did do, because I'm telling you, at Double A, those 2 years I went hard, brother. I went hard to record. If I told you some of the stuff that I did to get to record, people don't, you know, I had some of those verses I was dropping at 5:30 in the morning because I had to be on a job site at 7. So I'd have to leave my house at 5, go to the studio, drop at 5:30. I'd leave by 5:45 because the studio was next to my I'm renting an office, you know, for my other business. So the studio was right there. I'd drop a verse and be like, okay, I'll see you in the afternoon, drop the hook in the afternoon.
Wow.
And just, I was pressed for time. You know, I had to write verses on job sites. Like, it's just, I'm not someone who's just sitting around in front of, you know, just at home writing verses. No, I've got to balance being an artist while also attending to a business and a responsibility that I created before this lane. So, and I can't abandon that, because that's also my baby. You know, that business is also my baby. That business also changed my life. Wow. So this music is just a cherry on top, Double A. I'll tell you what. And being, you know, I hung out with Paul Rodriguez about a month back at a show in, you know, I used to see him on TV, you know, on channel on Univision, and next thing you know, we're having conversations, and I'm having conversations with legends, and again, that's gratifying enough for me. Yeah. But of course, hey, you know, let's keep it going. Let's see how far we can go, and that's the plan, man. To just keep making good music and having a good attitude. And again, you know, I respect Latinos in this music game. Some they have rap about the street culture. Some rap about I'm sitting on yachts culture, what have you. You know, I'm kind of like in between of hard times, good times, and just trying to have a fair balance. You know, I don't like to be too depressing. I don't like to be too thuggy, and I just tell it like I am, man. I just be Lui Blanco on the mic, you know?
Absolutely, bro. No, I like it, Louis. I like it, man. I think you got the right attitude. You got the, you know, right head on your shoulders, man, and you're going after, man. You know, that in and of itself is inspirational and admirable, man, because, you know, a lot of people just don't go after it, man. They want to, they have it inside them. They want to do it, and they just never take action, you know, and you got to take action, man.
It's hard because, you know, I understand our surroundings aren't always supportive. Yeah. I mean, our surroundings, the people that we surround ourselves, even family, you know, sometimes isn't supportive. But, you know, when you want, if you really want it, you know, again, I can't speak like I've made it or anything like that, but at the very least, I've got to work with people that back in the days I wouldn't even have come in contact with. So, but it all has to do with a willingness to work. When you're willing to put in the work, and that's what I was telling you about, like what I really like about Symes Carter, that he saw my drive. He saw I was texting him at 1 a.m. writing a verse, or, hey, I'm going to the studio at 5:30. You have, you know, X pointer you can give me. And sometimes, you know, you can spark something in those legends that they see themselves, and they see themselves in the drive, and that they're willing to step up and help you, you know. And that goes in any field, you know. If you want to be a real estate agent, you know, you're not going to go hang out with guys on a tractor. You're going to go hang out with the guys who do real estate and pick their brain. And, hey, can I take you to lunch? Hey, man, can I buy you coffee? You know, tell me a little, you know, whatever you got to do to get the information in the field that you want to be in. And it doesn't even have to be like that much effort. Minimal effort, and then a bigger effort, and then tomorrow a better effort, and then before you know it, it all starts coming to you.
Yeah.
But again, I was willing to put my dream aside, and I think that's why. Again, I'll mention the Lord again, because I'm very faithful. I was willing to put my dream aside for my responsibility, and I think when as Latinos sometimes or as people, sometimes we have to do that. No matter how much we do want to go into our dream, we have to take care of business first in order to
Yeah.
we got to sweat it out in another field to earn this opportunity in the field that we really want. Or what do you think? Is that a pretty fair take?
Oh man, it's
You know,
you took the words right out of my mouth, man. It's
yeah,
yeah,
that is
I have a day
sacrifice.
job too. I'm in a similar situation,
Hmm.
I have a day job, another job. I'm in another field, totally different,
Absolutely.
but one day I'll be making a living doing this,
Yes.
but you're right, man. You're right. I think you appreciate it more, and I think God, I'm faithful as well, and I think the Lord, once He helps those who help themselves, man, and so
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know,
yeah,
Kurt Warner. Remember the guy was bagging groceries, and a month
yeah,
later he's in the what is it? Playing on the St. Louis Rams. When he was bagging groceries, and again, like I said,
exactly.
just because you're back at square one doesn't mean you can't think of square 10. I mean, you're working here, and this is in the back of your mind, and just keep sacrificing, and the creases will get ironed out. But
Exactly.
you got to put that extra effort, man. It just those days you don't want to get up or
I know.
just
Sometimes you're
so
like, yeah, no, hey, we're only human, but again, you fight through that, you suck it up, and how badly do you want it? How badly do you want it?
absolutely,
It's just
absolutely,
a mindset, bro. It's a mindset, man. Louis,
absolutely.
right? What's next for you, brother? I mean, can you tell us about any upcoming projects you got lined
Well,
up?
I will be in Houston, Texas. I'm not too sure yet if I'll be performing yet, only because of some other responsibilities. But I will be in Houston, Texas, on on November 20th for the official CAP Summit, hosted by One Love Athena, and
When is that? I'm sorry.
that's November 20th in Houston, Texas. GT Garza, Lil Kiki, Young Easy, a lot of the big local talent and such will be on hand for that event. And then
Wow.
I'll be in Denver on December 3rd to open up for the MB Riders. I'll be one of the opening acts at that show with Symes Carter.
It sounds like you need to relocate to Houston.
You
Yeah.
know, I'll tell you, like who knows? Who knows? But man, Cali weather, man, it just it's
Yeah.
California. But again, we'll take it one day at a time. But to answer your question, I am working on. Not too sure yet on the name of the album. It was going to be the Blancumentary, but I don't. I 86 that name. It's kind of cool, but no, I am working on another album. I actually have a feature coming with MC Magic on this next album.
Oh,
Magic already laid his hook. I was supposed to lay my verse last week, but I had some things going on. So within the coming days, I'll be laying that one down. And so I've got Magic on the next album.
you're featuring him?
What's that? Yeah, it's my single featuring him. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then I've got. Are you familiar with Ilza Kill out of Nevada?
Yeah, heck yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard of him.
yeah. Ilza Kill, and see, he's only a few. I think he's not too far from here. But I contacted him also, and we collabed on a song. I was actually going to put him on my last album, but because it worked out better this way with the type of songs that we have. I'm saving that for this album. So I've got Ilza Kill on this next album. I've got Symes Carter. I've got Magic.
Nice.
I've got a song with Low G from Dope House Records as well that I haven't released. I've got some other names that are gonna that I'm still working on here in the near future that are pretty reputable that I believe are gonna be some pretty good songs coming up. But yeah, man, that's where we're at. We're right now, like I said, I want anybody that's watching, I would like for you guys to go listen to my album, Lui Blanco. I've got some really cool songs on there. I worked really hard on that project, and it's just my introductory to the game now. But God willing, here in the near future, I'm going to have plenty of more of a catalog for you guys to choose from.
Man, it's exciting, brother. No, I can't wait to see it, man. I can't wait to, you know, I'll be following you and
Likewise.
checking out your progress and all that good stuff, man. Before we
Yes.
wrap things up, Louis, where can the good people follow you? Where can they connect with you? You know, websites, Instagram,
Yeah.
social media, all that good
Sure.
stuff.
Well, my socials are I'm only on Instagram and Facebook right now. I'm on Instagram as Louis Blanco Music. I'm on Facebook as Lui Blanco, Lui Blanco. Um, I also have a YouTube channel, Louis Blanco. I also have LouisBlanco.com, but I was just on it right before I logged on with you, and I think I'm having a bit of a technical difficulty. So give me about 24 hours. Louis Blanco, and LouisBlancoMusic.com will both be up. LouisBlanco.com is my website where it has a little bit of a bio and some of my merch, and you can buy purchase the album as well, hard copy. And then Louis Blanco Music, that one is going to be a landing page to my socials and YouTube and such. So
Sweet.
yeah.
Bam. Boom.
Well,
There it is, man.
one more shout out to my guy Slapmaster. Slapmaster, he's from Vallejo, California. He's now based out of Dallas, Texas. He works with a lot of reputable artists as well. He's worked with Nipsey Hussle. He's working with Baby Bash. He works with Burner. I mean, the guy is, so shout out to Slap. Didn't mean to forget. And then to John Rufus, my engineer, I would like to give him a shout out. We go back 20 years. I appreciate him opening his doors to me back again to do this music, and he was instrumental for this album as well. So Houston Shooter and everybody involved in the project, I just want to give you guys a shout out and thank you for your hard work and effort. And I hope you guys like it. Go check it out, Louis Blanco Music, and we'll continue to try to bring you quality entertainment.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, go check out that album on YouTube, like Louis just mentioned. It's hot, man. It's hot. It's a great album. You're gonna enjoy that. And but yeah, Louis, thanks again for stopping through, man.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely, bro. And I go up to NorCal about a couple times a year, so I got people up there, and we'll talk.
Aquí tienes tu casa. Aquí tienes tu casa, Double A.
Muchas gracias.
When you're out here, bro, give me a holler, man. Let's go grab something to eat and chop some game. And likewise, when I hit SoCal, hopefully we can chop it up a little bit more.
Aquí, ya sabes, también aquí igualmente tienes tu casa y cuando quieras aquí te espero. Y I go up to I got people in Lodi, Galt.
You're close. Yeah, Lodi and Galt. I'm ironic. I'm going to Lodi tomorrow, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a friend that's I sold him a vehicle and I got to go give him some paperwork over there, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, you have family in Lodi. Yeah, Lodi, Galt. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, bro. Matter of fact, it's funny. I'll be up there. I'm heading up there next Thursday, man. We're gonna take the. We'll talk right now. We'll talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, brother, but thanks again for stopping through, man. Ladies and gentlemen,
thank you for having me, Double A. I appreciate everything you do. Badass, man. I keep seeing your progression, and I'm happy to be on the episode. And thank you for letting me and allowing me to come onto your show and give people a little bit of myself.
100%. Oh, you're always welcome back, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to connect, man. And now we're connected and going forward. And now you're a Profile Pod alum, and I'll do anything I can to support you, bro, and show love and going forward, man. So thank you.
Thank you, Carnal. And again, like I said, we'll talk, but yeah, we gotta link up here soon.
Absolutely. All
right,
ladies and gentlemen, there's Louis Blanco, straight out of Northern California, doing his thing, making waves. He's working with some big people already. He's already done so much, man. And it's great to see that he's doing his thing, man. He's an inspiration to myself and I'm sure many others out there, man. And he's going after his dreams, man. So go check out Louis Blanco, give him a follow, and you won't be disappointed. So thanks again, Louis, for coming through, man. We'll see you.
Thank you, Double A.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, man.
Alrighty.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have Lui Blanco. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, live on the Profile Pod, man. Go give me a follow if you're watching. Do me a favor, go give some hit that subscribe button right now on the YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I'm all over the place now. YouTube, with Twitter. Jeez, I can't even keep up with myself anymore. LinkedIn. And it's more importantly, go give Lui a follow. So
thank you guys.
We'll see you guys next time on the Profile Pod. For Lui Blanco, I'm Double A here on the Profile Pod. Rate and review on Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. We'll see you guys. Thanks again, Lui. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Double A.
Absolutely. Peace. And always remember to take it easy. Peace. There it is.